Okay, I want you guys to think spice. Spicy workout, spice. We've got strength, posture, impact, core, and equilibrium, which of course is just a fancy way to say your balance. So this is just a really, really nice little reminder. If you're working out or you're doing stuff at home, just have a think, are you including these 5 elements? Whether you do them, yes, spice, so we've got strength, posture, impact, core, so core stability, and equilibrium, balance. Yeah, so it doesn't mean we have to do them all the time, but it means that if you are practicing at home, just to make sure that you're including all of these elements so we have a nice well-rounded background. I'm going to post about it on Instagram tomorrow. So there'll be a little carousel, which is a bit easier to remember there. And a lot of the stuff we do in class, I mean, they get a little snippet. They don't get me, you know, for 30 minutes on a Monday. So let's get to it, ladies. We're going to do a very quick little warm up, and then we're going to start with a little bit of our strength. Okay. So let's have feet hip width apart. First thing we're going to do is just do a little alignment check. So we've got our feet hip width apart. We're grounding our feet down into the floor. We're bending our knees and we'll give our arms a little swing. That's just to make sure that we're completely relaxed. We're then going to place our hands onto our hips, keeping our knees soft. We're going to rock our pelvis forward and back. Forward and back. So this is just to get a bit of movement through our hips and to see if we can find our neutral, which is that halfway point, okay? So once you found your nice neutral spine, you're going to stretch the legs. You're then going to imagine 3 circles, your hips, your ribs, your shoulders and your collarbone, and then I want you to grow 1 inch out of the crown of the head. We're then going to close the eyes and just take 3 nice deep breaths in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. As we inhale, I want you to think of lengthening and elongating through the spine. And as you exhale, I want you to relax through the shoulders, through the jaw. You're going to give me 1 more there. Big breath in. And exhale, release. We're then going to open the eyes. Just gently scan the head from right to left. So there's going to be no stress or tension. Just let the head float from side to side a couple times. Then coming back to center, then we're going to nod ear to shoulder. Couple times, and then we're going to finish with the head to center. We're then going to lift the shoulders all the way up by the ears, then big exhale, drop them down the back, lift and drop. 2 more, lift and drop. Last one, big lift, and then let everything go. From there, 3 big shoulder rolls backwards, 3 and 2 and 1. Hands come onto the shoulders, 3 big elbow rolls, 3, opening up those arms, 2 and 1, letting go of those arms, 3 big shoulder rolls, 3 and 2 and 1, finishing with those hands up towards the ceiling. You're going to reach and touch the ceiling with the right hand and then touch the ceiling with your left hand. And you're just going to reach for the sky, lengthening through the sides of the body. Now, once you have finished your last one here, you're going to interlace your fingers and take your hands behind your head. Now I want you to press your head into your hands and pull your shoulder blades down your back and open those elbows really wide. Hips are going to face the front, but we're just gently going to rotate the rib cage to the right. Gently come back through center, rotate the rib cage to the left. Now remember, the goal is an end range, right? We're not reaching as far as we can. We're just very gently rotating side to side. There's no stress. No tension, we just gently let that body move. You're going to finish off your last one on the left-hand side. When we come all the way back through center, relax those hands down, give those shoulders a little shake. So we're going to go straight into a little hip hinge, okay? So we're going to have our feet hip distance apart, going to keep our knees soft, and you're going to hinge your hips forward, nice long spine, and then you're going to drive your hips forward and stand up nice and tall. So we've got a little hip hinge forward, and then you're going to drive your hips. As we've started these nice clear hip hinges, keeping the waist and the spine long, we're going to add some arm movements in. So you're going to come into a little hip hinge for me. You notice the long spine, and then going to reach my hands forward. I'm then going to pull my elbows down towards my rib cage and stretch my arms back overhead. So pull the elbows down towards the rib cage and stretch them overhead. Now, you'll see it this way as well. The goal is to keep the feeling of wide elbows on the way down and pull. Now, if it's not comfortable doing in your hip hinge, you can do it upright as well if that's more comfortable for your spine. I want everyone to give me 2 more of those, choosing the option that feels right for you. Goal is to warm up those back muscles. Now, once you've finished your last one here, we're going to stand up nice and tall, and then we're going to do the same thing, but change the arm position slightly. We're going to come into our beautiful hip hinge, and this time our arms are going to be down towards the floor, parallel to the shoulders. You're then going to pull the elbows up and back and squeeze those shoulder blades together, release and come back down. It's almost as if you're picking something imaginary up and pulling it close to the chest and coming back. And the pathway of the shoulder is really important, right? You can see it goes back and up, close to those ribs. Everyone's going to give me 3 more there. We're going to sweep up 3. Nice, ladies. And 2. And I want you to think, see how close I keep my arms to me to keep that. Try and get that lovely engagement down the back. You're going to do your last one. You're going to release and come down, and then you can stand up nice and tall. So hopefully we've started to warm up those back muscles. So now we're going to start to warm up the legs. We're going to start off with a basic squat. So I want you to take your legs a nice comfortable distance apart. Option 1 is you keep your hands across your chest. Option 2 is as you squat, you reach your arms up towards the ceiling. And we're going to do 10 of these. So off we go, gang. Bending the knees, hinging from the hips, going as low as you feel you can and up. Now remember, the position of the legs is going to be slightly different for everyone. You choose a position that's comfortable for you. The depth of your squat is going to be different as well. So really work with your body, okay? Goal is that we want to keep our weight in our heels. We want to try and keep our chest lifted. Everyone's going to give me their last 2 here. Good, and then last one, you're going to hold it in your squat for an extra little second, and then stand up nice and tall. Brilliant. We're then going to progress into a reverse lunge. So you're going to start off just with a static lunge, and then we'll do our reverse lunge. My brain is giving me away. We're going to have our right leg forward and our left leg back. Now remember, it's important in this position that you're on the ball of your foot. And if your balance isn't great, remember, use a wall or something to support you. Now, we stay on the ball of the foot because that helps to power and find our balance. Shoulders and hips face the front. You bend both the knees, keeping the spine straight. You lower as far as you can. You push the floor away and you stand up tall. Now again, depth doesn't matter. It's all personal, okay? But what I do want you guys to be aware of is that we want to have a long stride. These exercises are tough. This is what helps us keep that lovely stride length. It's what helps us walk comfortably. It's what helps us take those big, big steps in everyday life that we don't even think about. And we've got to keep practicing moving this hip into extension. So you're going to finish off your last one here. Then you're going to push off that back leg, step your feet together. Little breath. And then we're going to go on the other side. So you have left leg forward, right leg back. Remember, get those hips and shoulders facing the front. Zip up, pubic bone to sternum, bend both the knees, push the floor away as you stand up. And I want you to have that sensation like you're pressing the floor away. You're going to give me about 8 more here. And I'm going to come have a little look, right? Remember, depth is personal. You go as low as you can, but if you can touch that knee to the ground, you get a little gold star from me. Yes, I saw lots of smiles there, so I'm guessing everyone's going for it, yeah? Now, you know I can't count, so I'm going to guess when you've done 10-ish, step those feet together and take a little breather. Yeah, give those legs a little shake. So I want you to give me a thumbs up if you're warm. Yeah? So if you have a set of dumbbells, we're going to use them. They don't have to be heavy, okay? But if you do have 2 sets, like a heavier and a lighter set, you'll use your heavier. I've just got 1. So the first thing that we're going to do is a little bit of strength work. So we talked about that framework. The first thing we're going to do is a hip hinge using our dumbbells. So I'm going to come really close to the screen so you can see. Now to do this, I'm going to rotate my palms so that they face and they stick onto my thighs, okay? Now, from there, I'm very, very slowly, let me move my camera down. Hopefully you can see my legs super, super clear and not my fluffy bench. I've got my hands and my weights attached to my thighs. I'm going to slowly roll my thighs down my weights as I push my hips back. Now you go as low as you can. Now you see I've got soft bend in my knee. I think of pulling my shoulder blades down my back. To stand up, I slide my weights up my legs as I press my hips forward and I stand up nice and tall. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, right? You slide your weights down the leg, keeping your arms or hands in contact with your weights the whole time. Now, how low you go depends on how flexible you are in your hamstrings and you drive those hips forward. Now, this is one of the most essential exercises we can learn for osteoporosis because it enables us to strengthen the lower body, and it's the mechanics for lifting something really heavy off the mat whilst keeping our spine in that lovely elongated position, yeah? So basically you want to stick that bum out as much as possible, long waist, long spine. You're going to give me 3 more here, ladies. One thing I want you to really be mindful of, tendency is for chest to drop. So I really want you to imagine lifting your chest, right? It's almost like you want to think of pressing your breastbone forward, yeah? So once you've finished your 3rd rep there, we're going to stand up and take a little breather. Good. Okay, it wasn't so bad, huh? Yeah? So from there, you're going to take your weights. If you've got smaller weights, you can bring them together and bring them close to your chest. If you've got a heavier weight, you just probably use one and hold on to the end of the dumbbells, or even you can hold on to one end like this for what we call a goblet squat. Now, ideally, you want to keep these very close to your body and you want to squeeze your elbows down by your rib cage. From there, we're going to bend our knees and come into a nice low squat, and then we're going to push the floor away and stand up tall. And we're going to do 12 repetitions of this. Push and lift. Nice work, ladies. So, hip hinge that we just did and our squat, our daily functional exercises. Help us get up and down with ease. Big, big workers for the lower body. So if you feel comfortable with these exercises, the goal is that we want to be able to lift, we want to get stronger. So if you feel comfortable, the next time you do them, I want you to see if you can try it with a little bit more weight. Then when that becomes comfortable, you add a little bit more. And this is how we develop that long-term strength. So once you have finished 12-ish reps, I'm going to say maybe we've only got 2 or 3 more, but I love to talk, so goodness knows. Once you've finished your last one, you can stand up tall. Take a little breather because that heart rate's probably come up, which is what we want. We're going into that same exercise for our reverse lunge. So we're just going to hold our weights down by our side. We're going to come towards the front of our mat. Make sure there's nothing behind you that you can trip on. We're only going to be stepping back with the left leg to begin with, okay? So I'm going to do 8 reps on the left, 8 reps on the right. I'm going to keep my spine straight, and you're going to step your left leg back onto the ball of the foot, bend both of the knees, use that back leg to push yourself up and step together. Then you go straight back onto that left leg and together. So left leg goes back every single time, okay? 8 on the left, 8 on the right. Goal is that we are strong. We are lifted and elongated through our spines throughout. So we're not letting the weights pull our spine forward. We're resisting gravity. We're standing up tall. We're working body weight and resistance. Nice, ladies. So once you've finished 8 on your left, straight to the other side, exactly the same thing. Right leg will step back. Good, and then use that back leg to step you back. Good, guys. You are doing so fab. Beautiful. Use that back leg nice and strong. Good. And of course, once you have finished your last one there, you're going to stand up nice and tall and take a lovely little breather. How are we doing? So from there, we're going to move into a little upper body exercise. So if you are using different sets of weights, you probably want to use a lighter set. This one, I want you guys to have your feet hip width apart or wider, so you can really ground your feet into the floor. Now, when we're working with weights, okay, what tendency will happen is our center will want to, or the weights will want to throw us off center. So I want you to think about that pubic bone pulling up towards that belly button, strong abdominals as we lift weights. You're going to now bring those arms up to the shoulders, and you're going to press the hands all the way up to the ceiling, and then you're going to pull those elbows to those ribs. We've done this once again, or once before, right? We've already done it once today. Same action, but now we've got load. And what I want you to concentrate is power up, so it's like big power up, and then control, 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 control. Yes, ladies, power up. Control, control, control. Good. So that's another thing that we want to develop, right? We want to have power, okay, and strength, not just endurance. Good. So we want to be able to work at different tempos, and then we want to be able to control as we come back down. Everyone's going to give me 4 more here. We go 4. And squeeze those elbows down by those rib cage. 3. Slow, slow, slow. Connect that back. Last 2. Yes, guys, find that rhythm. Strong abdominals. Last 1. And control, control those weights all the way down and relax those arms. Very nicely done, ladies. So we're going to get down on the mat now. We're going to do a little bit of work into our center. So we're going to do our core. And then we're going to do a little tiny bit of balance. So I want you guys to come down onto the mat, and we're going to start on all 4s, okay? So this exercise is a very, very, very quick way to work your core muscles and your stability, because the whole reason that we talk about core is that the muscles that wrap around the center of the body are nice and strong and give the spine stability as well as our back muscles. So what we're going to do is start off with wrists underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. I want you to think of scooping your belly button up towards the ceiling, and then I want you to just see if you can float your kneecaps 1 inch off the mat. Hold it in this position, keeping that back lovely and flat, and then just release and come back down. Easy peasy. We're just going to do 3 more there. Exhale, belly button scoops up first, knees float 1 inch off that mat. We hold, pushing the mat away, width across the shoulder blades, and then come back down. 2 more here. Exhale, push and up. Use those abdominals. And release and come back down. Fab, guys. Last one here. Exhale, abdominals scoop up. Push the mat away so you feel width across your shoulder blades and they engage. Relax all the way down. Sit into a little child's pose. Take a little breather. Beautiful. So this is level 1 or stage 1. Okay. So if in the next exercise it doesn't feel good, then I want you to come back to this one. Okay. So the next one, we're going to progress to our bear crawl. So you're going to come right to the back of your mat. We're going to do the same thing. Lift the knees 1 inch off the mat, but we're going to walk forward. And you can watch me if you're not too sure. So I scoop my abdominals in and up. I float my knees off the mat. Then I take my opposite arm, opposite leg, and I walk forward to the end of my mat. And then I go back. Now the goal is, and this is tough, is to keep your body on the same line. So what I don't want to see is lots of wriggling bums. I want you to imagine that you're like in a little tunnel. You don't want to hit your bum or your head on the ceiling of the tunnel. And you want to try and keep the knees off for as long as you can. Now, I want you to do a couple of these, walking the length of your mat and back. If you need to pop your knees down in between, then you can. And if you don't feel ready to walk, then you can just start by lifting the knees up and down. So there's lots and lots of options, okay? This is such a great one because we are loading our wrists, our shoulders. We have to work the whole of our center. So I want everyone to give me one more time forward and one more time back. And then you can sit into a little child's pose. Good. Making sure that the spine is lovely and long. Yeah. Throughout. Sitting into that child's pose once you've finished. Oh, and take a little breather. Really, really nice, gang. So we're moving into our posture exercises now. We've done our core. We're not quite going in the order. We're kind of mixing it around. Let's come and lie on our front. If you do have a little block or a cushion you can put underneath your forehead. And if you do feel uncomfortable lying on your front, you can always place a cushion underneath the waist, which helps to support the lower back. So from here, we're going to go into a basic little extension. So you're going to have your legs a comfortable distance apart, elbows bent, and forearms on the mat. And you want to try and get those elbows in line with your rib cage. From there, you're going to press your pubic bone down towards the floor, and you're going to float your chest off the mat. You're going to hold it there a second, and then you're just going to release back down. So these exercises are specifically posture focused because they help to strengthen and build resilience in our spine, okay? Particularly our spinal extensors, which are the muscles that run down the length of the spine, okay? And you're also going to feel a lot of work into your lower back because your lumbar's working hard here, but in a good way, okay? We're going to do about 2 more here, and then we're going to add on. Good, ladies. Last one here. Beautiful. Now from there, you're going to take your hands down by your side, and if your back feels good, you can bring your legs closer together, okay? If your back feels tight, then leave them open. From there, we're going to do the same thing. We press our pubic bone into the floor. I want you to roll the upper arms together and lift them in line with the body as you lift your chest. If you feel comfortable, you're then going to lift your legs off the mat. So we're in like a dart or an arrow position, long and streamlined, and then we're going to relax down towards the mat. So the upper arms roll together, chest lifts. If you feel comfortable, the legs lift. Eyes stay looking down at the mat, release, and come back. And we're going to do about 3 more of those. So we're going to roll the upper arms together, lift the chest, lift the legs, and come down. Now, if you don't feel comfortable lifting the legs yet, then I just want you to focus on lifting the chest, okay? And your arms are down the side of your body, so that's it. And I want you to think, roll the shoulder blades together as the chest floats up. And if you feel comfortable, the legs can float off, and then you come down. Yes, ladies, really, really nice. Good. Sarah, just leave your head down at your mat. So kind of have your nose hovering off the end. And can you see that keeps your neck lovely and long? And it gives us that lovely feeling of elongation. Good. Yes, that's it. Nice work, gang. Really good. So everyone's going to finish their last beautiful dart here. Good. And then I want you to just roll onto your back for me. Hug your knees into your chest. Oh. Take a little second to be like, oh, thank God that's over. But they're the ones we've got to do our nice deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. So give those knees a little circle if that feels good. Yeah, just relax. Take a little breather. Okay. Once you've given your back a little second to reset, we're going to make our way back up to standing. But take your time, right? Roll onto your side, push yourself up, step 1 foot up at a time. we are going to squeeze in our balance nice and quick, which means we save our impact for next week. Huh? So from there, guys, we are going to just do a little bit of tree pose. Now, if you do not feel steady on your feet, then really just make sure you're by a wall or you've got a sturdy chair to hold on to, something that's going to support you. We're going to just start by taking a single leg balance on our right leg. And once you've got your single leg balance, I want you to see if you can just place your left foot on the inside of your right shin. Yeah, so it's just above the ankle. Now, what often will happen in this position is I get a lot of supermodel hips, yeah? So I want you to think of pressing your hip inwards so it's directly aligned above that toe. Now, if that feels like easy peasy, lemon squeezy, you can make it a little bit more challenging and you can place it on the inside of your thigh. So never put it across the knee joint. It always goes below or above. And you can hold this lovely position. So this is a really good example of static balance, right? We're holding our position, probably get a bit of a burning sensation in your ankle, maybe you'll wobble a little bit. It's all good, it's all part of balance training, right? But usually it's the easiest form of balance training, right? And we'll talk a little bit more about it next week. So when you finish, you're going to place the foot down, give that ankle a little shake, and we're going to do the same thing on the left-hand side. So we're going to come and make sure our weight is over our left foot and find a single leg balance. When you're ready, you gently put the left or right foot on the inside of the left shin, making sure we're not sitting into that hip, right? Hip is directly above the ankle, lifting up through our center. If that feels easy peasy and you want to bring the foot so that it's gently pressing into the thigh bone, you can. A little bit more challenging, right? So we always want to think when we're doing some sort of balance, we want to think really grounded and cemented with the lower half of the body. And we want to think light and airy with the upper half. You see, me too, huh? And I do this all the time and I still wobble. So we're going to take one more nice deep breath here, hopefully feeling a little bit calmer than when we started. And then I want you to place your foot down and give that ankle a little wiggle. We're going to finish with our heels together and our toes apart. And I want you to imagine that there's a 50-pound note between your butt cheeks and you could hold it there. That helps us connect with those external rotators and keep our pelvis nice and supported. Find a focus on the wall in front of you and rise up onto your tiptoes. Hold it in that balance for a second and then slowly float the heels to the floor, but think light, airy and lifted through the upper body. And we go again, we rise up onto those tiptoes and hold. Heels sink down towards the floor, but we keep lifting through the center. You've got your final one here, we float up and hold. We then reach the hands all the way up to the ceiling. Take a nice deep breath in. Exhale, we press down our hands, our shoulders and our heels. Take a big breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. You guys are all done.